65 years ago, India and Pakistan threw off the chains of British Empire and became independent countries. The partition of this region resulted in a legacy of suspicion and a profound inability to reconcile this political divide. From Kutch to Kashmir, Karachi to Khyber Pass, emerges some of the ground realities of this lingering fallout. Most importantly, if reconciliation is possible between two countries with interwoven histories, cultures and faiths, after 65 years of strained relations and ever-present unresolved crisis in Kashmir. For the last few decades, from Simla Agreement to Lahore Declaration to Musharraf's 4-point formula,
you said it, I think the parameters, and let me tell you very proudly, those parameters are mine. I came into this issue of demilitarization, maximum self-governance, overwatch and all that. And
there have been enormous engagements between the two governments towards this peace building. But the difficulty has always been the deep animosity on both sides of the border among the hardliner, right-wing nationalists, as Professor Hoodboy explains.
The difficulties, I think, are well known. There are people in this country who do not want to have relations with India because they see it as an enemy, something that has to be fought rather than to be made friends with. And anytime initiatives of this kind are taken, they say, you can't trade with the enemy, you can't visit the enemy. Now that's the kind of regressive thinking that is now forcing us into a box. If you look to see how deep the animosities were between, let's say, France and Germany earlier on in history, and if you look at the entire history of Europe, it is that of warfare of one state versus the other. Europe did not become prosperous until they managed to overcome these prejudices against each other. And if you look at Europe today, it gives you a model way in which human beings can live together.
But what has never taken place is an effort for peace through people-to-people contacts. India and Pakistan may be two separate countries with geopolitical and geographical divides. But there is no way possible to divide the people of two countries who share history of intermingling cultures and peaceful coexistence. One tool to bring the people of two countries together is relaxing visa policy.
So if you go for visa opening, then particularly three kinds of people will benefit in the short run, and most of the two societies will gain the long run. Short run, there will be students. 1,000 students from India coming to Pakistan a year, 1,000 students going from Pakistan to India every year. That will bring about a kind of a peace sentiment which will contribute greatly to the future amity. Second is the business people. There is SAFTA which has not taken off. There is SART which has not taken off. If the business is open, if businessmen start coming and going, trade is open, then there will be a kind of a shared market. Thirdly, the divided families. They will be able to meet each other, their own relatives across the border.
पाकिस्तान और इंडिया की वीज़ा पॉलिसी के मुतालिक मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि जितना रिलैक्सेशन दे सकती है दोनों गवर्नमेंट, पाकिस्तान की या इंडिया की, वो बिल्कुल इसके अंदर दे ताकि ट्रेड बढ़े.
Last year I was selected for Center for Civil Society India, but I couldn't go there because of the visa policy.
इंडिया का हेल्थ सेक्टर है वो पाकिस्तान से अच्छा है, तो पाकिस्तान को जो है हेल्थ सेक्टर में बहुत फ़ायदा हो.
Due to the high rigidity of visa regime on both sides, not only the students have failed to avail opportunity to visit India, but the divided families on both sides of the border are also being set apart.
cross borders without visas, without passports, I think this is a phenomenal achievement. And that's the sort of thing that we need for South Asia. Because the more integrated we are, the better it is for both countries, for India and for Pakistan and for the entire SAARC region.